Uh, Today we are going to discuss on a topic which is very crucial in neonatology, okay, and very important for your theory as well as MCQs as well for your competitive exams. So today it's actually two topics. One is birth asphyxia, okay, and we'll be dealing with etiology, clinical features and its management, okay. So what are the objectives? First of all, defining क्या होता है birth asphyxia, how do we define it, what are its diagnostic criteria, ठीक है. What are the common etiologies which leads a baby to have asphyxia, okay, and recognizing the diverse clinical features. Clinical features कई तरीके के हो सकते हैं, different organ systems को affect करते हैं, so we need to understand that. Outlining some immediate and ongoing management strategies and understanding the prognosis, okay, कि हमारे पास बच्चा आया तो हम इसको कैसे prognosticate करेंगे कि हाँ आगे जाकर के ये ठीक रहेगा या नहीं, and sometimes long term follow up भी is important. So whenever we define, it is based on certain criteria, okay, and birth asphyxia जो है मतलब birth के time पे कोई ऐसी problem हुई which is causing hypoxia as well as ischemia. Hypoxia is low oxygen and ischemia is low perfusion, okay. So both will have bad effects on the baby's brain, क्योंकि as a fetus the baby is completely dependent on mother's placenta. उसी से उसको सारा ऑक्सीजन मिल रहा है, उसी से उसका सारा जो excretory system है that is also by the placenta only, okay. But as soon as the baby delivers, उसमें and baby as a fetus is in a very hypoxic environment, okay, उसके saturation बहुत कम होते हैं, 50-60 के करीबन होते हैं. But as soon as the baby comes out, the lungs start functioning, the brain wants oxygen, okay, to thrive, and if that is not delivered या उसको perfusion अच्छे से नहीं मिलता है तो brain starts functioning abnormally. So that is hypoxemia and ischemia, okay, which is called as asphyxia. Asphyxia is a term in which there is hypoxemia, hypercarbia and acidosis. Asphyxia का ये मतलब होता है, ठीक है. But birth asphyxia को जो WHO ने simple बिल्कुल definition दी है, that is अगर baby पैदा हुआ and baby is not able to initiate and sustain breathing, ठीक है, क्योंकि बेबी पैदा होते ही उसको ब्रीदिंग करना होता है अपना, दैट इज हाउ द बेबी गेट्स ऑक्सीजन इनटू डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स. सो दैट्स वेरी सिंपल, ओके, अंडरस्टूड. द अदर इज एएपी एंड एसीओजी के हैं अपने जो ऑब्स्टेट्रिक गायनेकोलॉजी एंड पीडियाट्रिक्स की कंबाइंड डेफिनेशन है, जिसके हिसाब से देयर आर 4 क्राइटेरियाज होने चाहिए. वन इज prolonged metabolic or mixed acidemia. तो हमने अभी acidemia की बात करी, that is a part of asphyxia, okay, और इसमें भी pH is less than 7, ये होता है umbilical cord arterial blood gas में. अगर आप नहीं ले सकते हो तो within 1 hour of the birth, that is reflective of बच्चे का जो perinatal अपना insult है, अपना perinatal period. Then presence of Apgar score. Apgar score सबको मालूम है ओके, क्या क्या होते हैं कंपोनेंट्स एपगार स्कोर के, जोर से बोलो. रेस्पिरेटरी रेट, से इट लाउड. सो निमोनिक है, ए फॉर अपीयरेंस विच इज कलर, ओके, पी फॉर पल्स रेट विच इज हार्ट रेट, ओके, G is for grimace, जो हम उसको स्टिमुलेट करते हैं, उस पर उसका रिएक्शन देखते हैं, ओके. A is for एक्टिविटी, जो उसकी टोन वगैरह है, एंड R is for रेस्पिरेटरी रेट, ओके. सो इसके हिसाब से उसको वर्जीनिया एपगार ने एक दिया था, एंड दिस इफ इट इज लेस देन 3, ओके, देन एट 5 मिनट्स, 1 मिनट, 5 मिनट्स एंड 10 मिनट्स पे देखते हैं. तो अगर वो लेस देन 3 है, then it is considered to be suggestive of asphyxia, okay. न्यूरोलॉजिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन, सो अगर ये दो चीजें भी हो रही हैं बट कोई बच्चे को न्यूरोलॉजिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन नहीं है, विच मीन्स सीजर्स, कोमा, बच्चा बिल्कुल फ्लैसिड सा हाइपोटोनिक पड़ा हुआ है, या HIE के और फीचर्स विच वी विल डिस्कस इन द इमीडिएट न्यूनेटल पीरियड. ओके, immediate neonatal period means within first 24 to 48 hours, and evidence of multi-organ dysfunction. So multi-organ dysfunction means kidney को effect आ गया, heart को effect आ गया, liver के ऊपर effect आ रहा है, तो all this will be suggestive. So remember these 4 criteria. Okay, now we look at the burden of disease. तो अगर हम वर्ल्ड में बात करें तो देयर आर 4 million न्यूनेटल डेथ्स एंड ऑलमोस्ट 20% इज बिकॉज ऑफ एस्फिक्सिया. एंड इंडिया की बात करें तो ऑलमोस्ट 6 लाख न्यूनेटल डेथ एनुअली हो रही हैं, एंड एवरी 19%, एवरी 5th बेबी इज डाइंग बिकॉज ऑफ एस्फिक्सिया ओनली. ओके, एंड इट इज क्वाइट प्रिवेंटेबल. ओके, 99% ऑफ जो वर्ल्ड की मोर्टेलिटी हो रही है दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ एस्फिक्सिया इज हैपनिंग इन डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज because of poor resources. And HIE जो हमने बात किया है, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, that happens in 1.5 per 1000 live births. Okay, 15 to 20% of these die in postnatal period. And cerebral palsy जिसमें babies cannot stand up, cannot walk, cannot speak, that happens because of this entity asphyxia. So 15 to 28% of CP is due to HIE, and almost 25% of global developmental delay is because of HIE. So let's look at a case. Okay, एक baby है born to 21 years old primi gravida mother who's O positive. She does not have any antenatal complications. Okay, she is expecting a very healthy baby. उसने ultrasound वगैरह सब कराया. She presented to labor room at full term. Okay, which is 40 weeks. But unfortunately, there was prolonged obstructed labor. Okay, so prolonged obstructed labor means baby was not delivered. So, and उनकी जो CTG monitoring करते हैं fetal heart rate वगैरह, that was showing fetal dips. Heart rate was falling less than 100, and meconium started coming in the amniotic fluid. Meconium बेबी के फर्स्ट स्टूल्स को कहते हैं, विच इज ग्रीनिश, थिक एंड म्यूकॉइड. तो इसके लिए इमरजेंसी सेक्शन करना पड़ा बिकॉज ऑफ नॉन प्रोग्रेस ऑफ लेबर, फीटल डिस्ट्रेस. मेल बेबी, गुड वेट, बट बॉर्न लिम्प. लिम्प मीन्स नो टोन. उसकी हार्ट रेट देखी, दैट इज 60. सो माइंड यू, 60 इज वेरी लो. एट द बर्थ वी एक्सपेक्ट बेबीज हार्ट रेट टू बी अबव 100. ओके, gasping means okay, such ineffective breaths which is not actually ventilating the lungs. उसकी irregular breathing है, flaccid tone है, and when we are actually looking at the baby's stimulation, then there is no response to stimulation. Okay, so with this born limp means उसका जो अपना tone है वो 0 है. हार्ट रेट उसकी अभी है 60, विच इज लेस. सो इसमें आप 1 स्कोर दे सकते हो उसको एपगार में. गैस्पिंग है विच इज कंसिडर्ड 0 ओनली. ओके, इनइफेक्टिव ब्रीदिंग, फ्लैसिड टोन, एंड बेबी इज साइनोस्ड ऑल्सो, सो दैट ऑल्सो बिल्कुल सेंट्रल साइनोसिस है, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो 0, एंड नो रिस्पॉन्स टू सिमुलेशन 0. सो दिस बेबीज एपगार इज गोइंग टू बी 1. Okay, now tell me, what is your impression? Is this baby critical? Yes or no? Yes. So what is going to be your immediate action? Suppose you are there and the pediatrician has just gone to the washroom. Can you please close the door now? Close the door, please. So what's going to be your immediate action? So if you are not equipped to handle these babies, call for help. Please kindly close the door now. Yeah. Close the door. Close it, please. Lock it. So this baby's ABGAR at 1 minute was 2, and then 3 at 5 minutes, and then resuscitated with positive pressure ventilation for around 10 minutes. Okay. Spontaneous breathing started in this baby at 9 minutes, and ABGAR even at 10 minutes was very low, which is 5. And this baby's cord pH was showing a pH of less than 7 with a high CO2, okay, which shows that respiration was not effective. This is PaO2, these were the bicarb, this is base excess, and this is the lactate, okay. So in such a case, this is what we actually should do. So this is the initial management in which every second counts, okay, that is the golden minute. So as soon as the baby delivers, you should, if you are not equipped to handle such babies, call for help. Pediatrician, neonatologist, or any resuscitation team, which means even an anesthetist can also help you, okay. Warmth should be provided, okay, place them under radiant warmer. Babies के लिए अपना ABC या CAB जैसे adults में होता है वैसे नहीं होता है, it is TABC, which is temperature, airway, breathing and circulation, okay. So हमारे को radiant warmer में रखना है, dry करना है, that also helps in maintaining temperature. Baby's neck is very flexible, so position their airway so that they can breathe, okay. Look at the airway, अगर उसमें meconium पड़ा हुआ है तो how will the baby breathe? सारा airway blocked है, so you need to suction it, okay, and it needs to be a gentle suction. Stimulate them, rubbing their back gently is the only way of stimulation. जो पहले वाले mechanism होते थे थप 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 करना, okay, and even tickling or flicking the sole, that is no longer considered to be safe. And positive pressure ventilation जो हम bag and mask से देते हैं अपना, which is to increase the heart rate after these initial steps, okay. ये हमें करना होता है, and ensuring good sleep, good seal, delivering breaths of around 40 to 60 breaths per minute, okay. Chest compressions have to be started if the baby's heart rate is less than 60 despite positive pressure ventilation, okay. And this is, we give it for 30 seconds and then look at the heart rate. Ratio of these chest compression is 3 chest compressions to 1 breathing, okay, that is 90 compressions to 30 breaths per minute. And then if still the baby's heart rate is not picking up, which means very very critical, then we start this baby on medications, okay, which is adrenaline, which can be given through endotracheal tube or directly into the umbilical venous catheter, okay. So in this baby we also have to understand what are the risk factors. क्यों होता है HIE? So it can be because of uteroplacental insufficiency. Babies को blood ही अच्छे से नहीं मिल रहा है अपना because of hypertension, and sometimes IUGR babies also, okay. This is sometimes called as IUGR indicates chronic hypoxemia, और उसके ऊपर अगर बेबी पैदा होकर के नहीं रोया, which means an acute hypoxemia, so that's a double insult. Maternal, medical और surgical illnesses, मदर को अगर डायबिटीज है, अगेन उसमें भी ब्लड नहीं मिलता है, एनीमिया, chronic hypertension, sometimes drug abuse, sometimes maternal infections, chorioamnitis जो last stage में होता है. Natal में अपना abruptio placenta, so placenta moves away and again it doesn't supply the blood. Cord prolapse हो जाता है. Maternal hypotension, acute blood loss, okay. Obstructed labor as in our case, so these can cause, and uterine rupture, suddenly baby निकल गया उसमें से and the baby is at risk of dying. Postnatally there is severe hypoxic respiratory failure, severe sepsis leading to hypotension, मतलब बेबी में ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, या critical cyanotic heart disease, okay. Just open it up for 1 minute. So prolonged second stage जैसे हमारे इस बेबी में था, meconium stained labor, LICA and fetal heart rate decelerations were indicative that there is intrapartum asphyxia. So what are the clinical features? Okay, so clinical features are baby care depends on the timing, okay. So first, again, please close the door. Sorry. So it's depressed level of alertness. उसकी alertness कम हो जाती है. Babies normally are also very sleepy in the initial neonatal period, but they will not even wake up for their feeds and all. Okay. They will be having periodic breathing या respiratory failure. Periodic breathing में होता है कि breathe करते करते suddenly एक gap आ जाता है. And respiratory failure we all know, जिसमें CO2s वगैरह बढ़ने लग जाते हैं and baby is completely gasping वगैरह में आ जाता है. इस टाइम पे बेबी के प्यूपिलरी एंड ऑक्यूलोमोटर रिस्पॉन्स, ऑक्यूलोमोटर होता है बेबीज के, हम हेड को टर्न करते हैं तो द आईज टर्न टुवर्ड्स द अदर साइड व्हिच इज अ डॉल्स आई रिफ्लेक्स आल्सो, दैट्स ऑक्यूलोमोटर. ओके, जैसे डॉल की अपन गर्दन हम आते हैं तो ऊपर करते हैं तब भी वो नीचे ही रह जाती है, तो सिमिलरली ऑक्यूलोमोटर रिस्पॉन्स हैपेंस इन बेबीज आल्सो, न्यूबॉर्न बेबीज. हाइपोटोनिया, सीजर्स स्टार्ट हैपनिंग. समटाइम्स दे मे हैपन इन द लेटर हाफ, 12 to 24 hours. Seizures, okay. Then change in level of alertness. बच्चा पहले अपना बिल्कुल डल था, then starts being very irritable, okay. Jitteriness आने लग जाएगी. Weakness in proximal limbs, okay. This is the weakness, proximal limb. Upper more than lower in term babies and lower more than upper. Lower weaknesses, lower limbs की ज़्यादा weakness होगी in preterms baby. Then there will be stuporous, respiratory arrest हो सकता है. Suddenly they may stop breathing and you may have to immediately ventilate them. Brainstem, pupillary and oculomotor disturbances start happening. Catastrophic deterioration कई बार होता है because of severe IVH and periventricular hemorrhagic infarction. So suddenly baby becomes pale and suddenly the baby's BP will fall down. After 72 hours you may find that there is persistent stupor, there is disturbed sucking, swallowing, gag, tongue movements, and hypotonia is more predominant with limb weaknesses. Okay, so these are the clinical features. And if we look at the organs that are affected, ये हमारा सारा का सारा was associated with the brain, timeline में कैसे होता है. But if you look at the organs that are affected, then these are the organs that can be affected and many more also. So CNS में HIE, intracranial hemorrhages, seizures happen, and उसकी वजह से baby is dull, irritable, having poor suck, increased or decreased tone. AF कई बार उसका bulge हो जाता है because of the IVH, and because of that sometimes unequal or small or even very dilated pupils may happen. Cardiac की वजह से myocardium doesn't get oxygen and that starts getting dysfunctional with rhythm abnormalities, congestive cardiac failure. So what happens to the baby is ashen grey color हो जाता है, heart rate कभी increase हो जाती है, कभी decrease हो जाती है, edema, hepatomegaly and breathing difficulties. Renal में acute tubular necrosis which is causing AKI, and because of that you may see blood in urine, low urine output, edema happening in the baby. In pulmonary there is delayed adaptation, respiratory failure, meconium aspiration, PPHN and pulmonary hemorrhages may happen. So presentation is tachypnea, increased work of breathing, labile oxygenation. And in GI tract, because of poor perfusion, necrotizing enterocolitis happens, hepatic dysfunction, ileus, उसकी stomach move ही नहीं करेगा, stress ulcers because of which you'll see abdominal distension, poor feed tolerance, jaundice and bleeding coming through the nasogastric tubes. Hematological, you may find coagulation abnormalities, so petechiae, bleeding, IVH is also because of that. And metabolic you may find acidosis in which there is typically short and rapid breathing, hypoglycemia in which the baby is lethargic or jittery, that also happens with hypocalcemia and hyponatremia. Okay. Long term also we have to understand that what are the problems, what are the clinical features. So pattern of injuries may depend करती है different, okay, but what happens is the consequence is different types of cerebral palsy. So if it happens as selective only the cerebral cortex and deeper nuclei, basal ganglia वगैरह affect होता है, तो dystonic CP, seizures and cognition, okay, वो that is impacted. Parasagittal injury में they will have spastic quadriplegic, so all the upper limbs as well as the lower limbs they will be quadriplegic, okay, they will not be able to move and delayed cognition. And अगर कोई stroke होता है, just focal ischemia, then hemiplegia may happen, one side may be affected, seizures may happen and delayed cognition may happen. But in preterm neonates it's a different entity जिसमें ventricles के पास जो होता है that area is affected by ischemia, that is periventricular leukomalacia. Okay, and in this spastic diplegia happens, which means the lower limbs are affected, तो वो उसके spastic हो जाता है, so baby may not be able to move. Okay, and cognition is relatively preserved. So in terms of pathophysiology, what happens is hypoxic depolarization happens, cell lysis and excitotoxins कुछ होते हैं brain में, वो affect आने लग जाते हैं. Calcium starts entering into the cells, so this causes necrosis. Okay, this is the primary energy failure. ATP कम होने लग जाता है. Sometimes it can go into recovery, but most of the times there is a brain damage depending on the timing of the insult and what actions have been taken. After that there is a reperfusion and then there is a latent phase. Okay, ये latent phase जो होता है before it goes into secondary energy failure and ultimately death, cell death and edemas, this is the phase where we can act and preserve the baby's brain damage. This is actually up to 6 hours. Okay, so it's wrongly mentioned, I'm sorry for the error, but this is up to 6 hours. ओके, सो इसमें हम कुछ एक्शंस लेकर के बेबी के ब्रेन को प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं. ओके, सो वी लुक एट आवर बेबी अगेन. जो हमारा बेबी था, सो बेबी वाज बोर्न विथ पुअर अपगार्ड्स एंड वी रिससिटेटेड. बेबी की स्पॉन्टेनियस ब्रीदिंग हैड कम एट 9 minutes. नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग टू दिस बेबी इन द NICU? बेबी इज लेथार्जिक, पुअर मूवमेंट्स, हाइपोटोनिया, strong distal flexion. So this is the way distal arms, ये सब जो है ये flexed position में रहेंगे. Okay, even the lower legs and all. Poor moro उसका आता है. Okay, poor sucking है बेबी की and gag भी जो हम करके देखते हैं, that is also poor. Heart rate is low. At this stage we will take 120 as the normal. Respiratory rate is also poor. Okay, baby's respiratory rate is to the tune of 40 to 60 and baby's saturation is also poor in room air. CRT जो उसका होता है capillary refill time showing perfusion is also high, that is less than 3 seconds what we expect. Baby is very jittery or starting having multifocal clonic seizures. Okay, in both limbs, twitching of the eyes होने लग गई हैं and this causes increase in the heart rate. And we look at the random blood sugar and that is 25. Now how will we manage this baby? That question will come to you. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we look at the management and it is a holistic management. So सबसे पहले तो हम इसकी classify करेंगे severity. So severity is whether it is mild, moderate or severe. Okay, and this is based on consciousness. So our baby was lethargic. Okay, अगर irritable होगा तो it is mild and comatose ही होगा तो it is severe. Tone में hypotonia moderate or severe. Okay, that comes with a little bit of experience. Okay, but hypotonia is important. Seizures, yes, in moderate and prolonged seizures. Okay, that happens with severe HI. And sucking, it is unable to suck. Okay, may be poor in case of mild but unable to suck in moderate and unable to sustain spontaneous respiration, that happens with severe. So apneas होने लग जाता है and these babies need to be ventilated. Sorry. So other may is Sarnath and Sarnath staging, in which again what is important is level of consciousness, whether they are hyper alert or they are lethargic or stupid. Tone, you just look at whether it is normal. They classify normal tone in stage 1, mild hypotonia or flaccid, which is severe hypotonia. Posture में again strong distal flexion and intermittent decerebration. Decerebration is again baby का complete अपना जो tone है वो increase हो जाता है, right? So that is intermittent decerebration that happens. Stretch reflexes will be overactive, जो हम deep pendant reflexes करते हैं. Complex reflexes में try and look at suck and moro. which is weak or absent in stage 2 and weak or incomplete with high threshold in Moro, whereas it is absent in severe stages, and strong in the stage 1. Okay, autonomic functions में sympathetic actions are predominant in stage 1, whereas parasympathetic is predominant in stage 2. So thus mydriasis, which is dilatation of the pupils, happen, tachycardia, increase heart rate होने लग जाता है उसका, okay, उसके secretions कम हो जाते हैं, GI motility is usually decreased, seizures नहीं होते हैं, जबकि parasympathetic activity की वजह से pupils इसके meiosis मतलब छोटे हो जाते हैं, constrict, heart rate कम हो जाती है, secretions ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, diarrheas होने लग जाते हैं, okay, and both systems may be affected in stage 3. Okay, seizures are common, focal or multifocal, whereas uncommon in stage 3, but decerebrations may happen. Okay, and there is a difference in their EEG also, which is probably of theoretical relevance to you. Okay, so they may be in this stage for 2 to 14 days, and this is very important for prognosis also. So I'll just show you this clip of seizures. You can see what is happening to this baby's tone on the right upper limb and what is happening to this baby's movement of the lower limb on the right side. So that is constantly moving, whereas that is in an increased tone. So that is tonic and this is clonic movements. Okay, and you can also see the baby's head is turned towards one side, so that is also suggestive of increased tone. So this is how we diagnose seizures. Now what management steps we do? Investigations. So ABG is very important, as we saw. ABG हमारा diagnosis के लिए ये important है, and looking at later on also how it is improving. Electrolytes, because kidney is affected, liver may be affected, तो इनके test होने चाहिए. Blood sugar very very important. Okay, never forget the D after ABC. ABC के बाद dextrose को हमेशा ध्यान रखना है in cases of asphyxia. So that and E is electrolyte. So A, B, C, D, E you can look at. Calcium again can be low. CBC and वो क्योंकि hematological manifestations होते हैं and DIC may also happen. Neuroimaging करना आता है ultrasound because their anterior fontanelle is open. So we can look at their ultrasound. We can do MRIs later and EEG is also important. Gold standard is 24 hours video EEG. So in temperature management, we have to avoid hypothermia. Hypothermia which is controlled is good for that baby. जो हमने latent phase की बात करी, within 6 hours we can induce hypothermia जो हम rectal temperature से monitor करते हैं, and 33 to 34 is considered good for that baby. This has reduced death as well as severe neurological handicaps in 1 out of 7 babies. Oxygen is also good and bad for these babies. So hypoxia is also to be prevented and hyperoxia is also prevented. So you remember this target which is 90 to 95%. Ventilate करना पड़ता है because babies are not breathing. So you have to look at their CO2s which is 40 to 50. Again low may cause ischemia and high may cause hemorrhages. Perfusion maintain करके रखना पड़ता है जिसके लिए BPs हमें देखने पड़ते हैं. There are several targets like 45 to 50 for term babies, 35 to 40 for 1 to 2 kilos and more than 30 in less than 1 kilos. Okay. For this sometimes we have to use fluid bolus and inotropes. Okay. Because baby's blood pressure is actually reflective of the blood pressure that is in the brain. और उसी से ही बच्चे को अपना सारा brain को circulation हो रहा है. Okay. So it's a cerebral perfusion that we have to try and maintain. Glucose, as we have talked, is the main energy source of brain. So we have to maintain high blood sugar levels and do not accept lower ones like 45 or 50. In that state, immediately give 2 ml per kilo of 10% dextrose as bolus, which is followed by maintenance fluid. Hypocalcemia we have discussed. Seizures may happen in approximately 50% of these cases with HIE, and as we discussed within 24 hours or 48 hours. So इसके लिए anti-epileptic drugs you should remember phenobarbital, that's the most important. Phenytoin and levetiracetam come second line. they may be intractable and they usually burn out in 48 hours. तो इसी के लिए most of the times we have to try and stop these anti-epileptics before discharge because they also have their own side effects. Okay, but we have to remember that a long-term follow-up is important, but because almost 1/3 of them may develop epilepsy in later life. Okay, prognosis is dependent on how we immediately acted, how the baby responded. Okay, so हमारा resuscitation is not guided by APGARs. Okay, हमें जो actions लेने हैं वो within 1 minute लेने हैं, whereas APGAR we are doing it at 1 minute. Remember, APGAR first जो हम देखते हैं वो है 1 minute पे, but हमारे actions was the first golden minute. So initial steps have to be completed within 30 seconds and you have to try and come to positive pressure ventilation by the 30 seconds. Okay, lack of spontaneous breathing is very important within 20 to 30 minutes of birth. अगर वो नहीं है तो no matter what you do, the baby is going to have a poor outcome. Okay, HI stage 3, 50% of these babies either die and the remaining 50% जो हैं all of them will develop long-term sequelae, cerebral palsy, visual disturbances, hearing difficulties. Okay, so not worth it sometimes. When it is HI3, we do advise the parents also that it's not that worth it. Abnormal neurological findings, we do the neurological assessment, and if it is abnormal beyond 7 to 10 days, baby is not able to suck, baby is still hypotonic, not breathing well, then that is good, bad. Intractable seizures, okay, and some MRI findings and EEG findings are also suggestive of poor outcome. And poor response to therapeutic hypothermia also. Therapeutic hypothermia we give it in the first 72 hours, पहले 72 hours में देते हैं, ठीक है, पर उसका poor response आ रहा है, बच्चा खराब हो रहा है, उसके बावजूद भी एसिडोसिस में जा रहा है, शॉक में जा रहा है, तो that is a bad outcome. Okay, so we come to the end of our first. I would like to just show you this algorithm. So अगर कोई भी बेबी को 30 seconds के beyond PPV देना पड़ रहा है तो हमें immediately उसको chest compression या as we discuss adrenaline देना पड़ता है. APGAR अगर उसका less than 7 है at 5 minutes, then this baby needs to be observed in the NICU. You monitor this baby. ये baby hemodynamically stable है with a normal tone, activity, sensorium, no seizures. Then this baby can be shifted and you can initiate breastfeeding. So any baby who requires PPV can be in the NICU. Okay. Abnormal tone है उसकी, however, activity उसकी poor है, seizures उसको आ रहे हैं या उसका sensorium altered है, then this baby, as we discussed, needs to have a proper temperature, avoiding hyperthermia, monitor the saturations and ventilation, judicious use of oxygen, ensure normal perfusion by saline boluses, inotropes, maintain normal blood glucose, treat for seizures, and monitor other organs also like cardiac and kidneys. Okay? So we come to some questions. If you've paid attention, can you answer what is the medical term for the brain damage that can result from birth asphyxia? Yeah, please out. B. So that is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Absolutely. Okay. What is the primary intervention for a baby with birth asphyxia who is not breathing well? So primary intervention, even if you skip warmth and stimulation, okay, you have to come to bag and mask ventilation. That's the most important thing. Okay. Ideally you should follow, but any baby who is not PPV should always be remembered. Okay. Oxygen administration is not required for term babies. You can ventilate, positive pressure ventilation सिर्फ room air से भी कर सकते हैं. Okay. And IV fluids is definitely out of the question. Alright. Okay. So now we come to the second topic, which is respiratory distress in newborn. So in this, the objectives are how to define respiratory distress in newborn, estimating the severity of respiratory distress, management, supportive and specific, CPAP and respiratory support. इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा अपन डील करेंगे. So again a case which we deal in day in and out. 25 years, third gravida mother who's previously had 2 preterm babies who did not survive because they were home deliveries, so they expired. This baby also is a preterm at 26 weeks, extremely preterm we call them as, because it's less than 28 weeks. Mother ke prolonged rupture of membrane which was premature, that started happening and she landed with full cervical dilatation. So हमारे पास कोई option नहीं रखा obstetrician के पास. So they had to immediately take her for a vaginal delivery. Antenatal steroids which are given sometimes is not administered to this baby. It's a male baby, just 780 grams. So very extremely low birth again. This baby had a good APGAR, मतलब उसका transition ठीक हुआ. APGARs are 5 and 7, heart rate ठीक था उसका, okay. But on examination we find that this baby is having grunting. So what is grunting? Anybody has a clue? So grunting is बच्चे का खुद का एक मैन्यूवर है अपना, जिसमें वो अपनी ग्लॉटिस को पार्शियली क्लोज कर देते हैं. So that creates a pressure जिसके अगेंस्ट बच्चे के लंग्स को ब्रीथ करना पड़ता है. So that allows the alveoli to keep open. एक प्रेशर मिल गया अपने लंग्स को, तो they open. Normally as a fetus the baby's lungs are filled with, what are they filled with? Fluid, okay. But as soon as the baby comes out, हमने उसको clamp किया, baby breathes, cries and the lungs fill with air or oxygen, okay. So वो अगर नहीं हुआ अच्छे से, babies के lungs में alveoli are still collapsed or having fluid, then this baby starts grunting, okay, जिसमें expiration में एक noise आता है, okay. I'll demonstrate that to you. This is grunting. So a prolonged expiration and that noise is coming, okay. So this is grunting. Along with that, जो बाकी के अपने muscles हैं, they start working. So nasal flaring starts happening, subcostal retractions, baby's respiratory rate which is normally 40 to 60 goes up to 83 in this case. Subcostal retractions which we'll see, saturation monitoring may be 80% at 5 minutes, okay, whereas at 5 minutes we expect it to be around 85. So that is also low. Now again the question comes, how are you going to manage this baby? So first of all we have to define whether this baby is having respiratory distress or not. So respiratory distress is defined by presence of tachypnea more than 60 with lower chest retractions, grunting and or cyanosis, okay. Cyanosis अपने को generally कई बार दिखता है 75% से कम saturation में, तो 80% पे this baby may not be actually cyanosed, but that is not an important criteria, and or cyanosis है, okay. The causes of this respiratory distress can be many systems can cause. So it is respiratory, cardiac, metabolic, CNS or chest wall abnormalities also, okay. So RDS, TTNB which is a transient tachypnea of newborn, meconium जैसे हमारे पहले बेबी में होता है, अगर meconium aspirate कर देते हैं तो that is meconium aspiration syndrome. Pneumonias may happen in the baby. Tracheoesophageal fistula जिसमें एक connection है between trachea and esophagus, so they cannot actually take feeds. And supraglottic stenosis अगर वहाँ पे narrowing है. Cardiac में congestive heart failure or congenital heart diseases. Poor temperatures can also cause this grunting. If the baby is very hypothermic, this also causes hypoglycemia, metabolic acidosis. CNS में asphyxia जो हमने देखा, that can cause cerebral edema and hemorrhages may cause. And there are chest wall abnormalities also in which the muscles are not moving, जो SMA होता है Werding-Hoffmann, या asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. So what are the cardinal signs are tachypnea, okay, which is respiratory rate more than 60. Grunting, okay, this is expiratory sound due to partial closure of glottis to maintain positive end expiratory pressure. Pressure है to keep the alveoli open. Nasal flaring, retractions which can be subcostal, intercostal in between the ribs, suprasternal and substernal. Due to increased negative intrathoracic pressure, उसको increase करना पड़ता है अपना pressure to take good breath. Cyanosis and sometimes apnea, which is very very lethal in these babies. अगर उसका breathing अपना more than 20 seconds अपना stopped है, तो this baby's heart rate is also going to fall. Heart rate गया तो उसका perfusion to all the organs will also fall. Okay, so that may happen. So again, let's look at this video wherein respiratory distress is happening. So you can see over here, this is the subcostal space, and you can see how quickly the baby is breathing. You can notice over here there is a little bit of nasal flaring also that is happening, and look at the baby's activity alertness, that is pretty low. Okay, so this is subcostal retraction, this is tachypnea, this is nasal flaring. Sometimes they also even puff through their mouth. So something also happens because of their respiratory distress. So how do we identify what is the cause? हमने इतने सारे causes पढ़े, respiratory causes. So one is preterm gestation. अगर preterm हो रहा है तो this favors RDS, respiratory distress syndrome. Okay. Late preterm और term अगर baby है और specifically उसका elective cesarean हुआ है less than 39 weeks, so that favors transient tachypnea of newborn. Term baby है जिसका meconium state amniotic fluid है या post term baby है, तो उसमें meconium aspiration syndrome should be our first possibility. Suprasternal retractions आ रहे हैं, so that is suggestive of supraglottic stenosis, this is upper airway obstruction. Cyanosis, hepatomegaly, but no retractions, only tachypnea, तो ये heart की disease है, which may be congenital heart disease और heart failure. Preterm है, उसके एक murmur आ रहा है, tachypnea है और इसके liver भी अपना enlarged हो गया है. तो ये एक patent ductus arteriosus होता है, in which the circulation is maintained between the aorta and pulmonary artery. तो lungs को ज़्यादा blood circulation होता है and lungs are more congested. So in this also respiratory distress happens. And a lethargic baby जिसके poor neural reflexes हैं with distress, तो इसको हम birth asphyxia या hemorrhage की तरफ deal करेंगे. So again looking at the severity, ये हमारे को history से उसका पता चला कि क्या cause हो सकता है, but we have to assess the severity. और इसके लिए भी कुछ scores होते हैं. So some of them you have to identify are just this 5 entities: respiratory rate, score 0 is less than 60, 60 to 80 and more than 80, 1 and 2. That is how it is. Cyanosis absent, present at room air but not with oxygen, and if it is present even beyond 40% or 40%, then that is score 2. Grunting, which we discussed, absent, audible with stethoscope जो मैंने किया, पर अगर stethoscope से अपना आ रहा है तो only score 1, and audible without a stethoscope, then that is score 2. Retractions अगर absent है, mild है and marked है, okay, so that is score 2 is marked. Mild retractions are again score 1. Air entry which we look by auscultation by stethoscope, अगर वो bilaterally equal है but mildly decreased है तो score 1, score 2 if it is markedly decreased. Okay, so score 0 is completely normal, which means no distress. Score 1 to 4 is mild distress. इन बेबीज को हम अलग तरीके से डील करते हैं. 5 to 7 is moderate distress, जिसमें हमें respiratory support देना पड़ता है उसको, ठीक है. And more than 7 is severe distress with impending respiratory failure. This baby may die if you do not act, ठीक है. तो इनको कभी कभार हमें वेंटिलेटर पे लेना पड़ता है. This is again a different score which is more for preterm babies, Silverman-Anderson. तो इसमें grunting तो is the same, okay. Nares का dilatation which we saw, none, minimal and marked, उसके हिसाब से scoring किया जाता है. Xiphoid retraction, xiphoid is over here, इसके retractions को देखा जाता है just visible और marked over here, okay. And Lower chest के retractions, whether they are no retractions, just visible, this is seen over here, lower chest retractions while the baby is lying, and marked retractions are scored 2. And upper chest में, if there is a synchronized breathing, then it is 0. Lag on inspiration, baby का upper chest is delayed, वो अपना ऊपर ही रह रहा है अपना inspiration में अपना, या seesaw हो रहा है, in which as we saw in that baby जो हमारा था उसमें seesaw breathing हो रहा था. Okay, the chest was going down and abdomen was going up, so that is seesaw breathing. So now we come to different entities. So RDS, respiratory distress syndrome, which was once called as HMD, hyaline membrane disease, is a common entity of less than 34 weeks. What happens in this is there is एक liquid secrete करते हैं बच्चों के alveoli, type 2 alveolar cells जो surfactant होता है, and what it does is ये है alveoli which is coming from the respiratory bronchiole, terminal bronchiole. So you see इनके बीच में आपस में molecules के बीच में एक attraction होता है. Okay, so because of that attraction they'll try and come together. As you can see with these forces, these brown colored are the forces of attraction, so that is surface tension. Okay, if there is a liquid which is surfactant that is produced, so this creates a decrease in this surfactant tension, तो इसकी वजह से alveoli are open. Okay, and अगर alveoli open होंगे तो जैसे हम थोड़े से बलून को हमने फुलाया हुआ है और उसमें हम हल्के प्रेशर से हम बलून को ज्यादा फुला सकते हैं, ठीक है, वैसे ही अपना यहाँ पे होता है. तो if the alveoli are open, the baby requires lesser pressure to maintain respiration. ठीक है, तो उसका एफर्ट, रेस्पिरेटरी एफर्ट और वर्क ऑफ ब्रीदिंग कम हो जाता है. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, एंड दिस इज प्रोड्यूस्ड बिटवीन 20 वीक्स टू 35 वीक्स. सो एनी बेबी born लेस देन 35 वीक्स इज एट रिस्क ऑफ डेवलपिंग RDS. ओके, इसकी ऑनसेट होती है जनरली विद इन 6 आवर्स, एंड इसमें फीचर्स होते हैं टेकिपनिया, रिट्रैक्शन, विच इज द सेम फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ द रेस्पिरेटरी डिस्ट्रेस प्रॉब्लम्स इन न्यूबॉर्न्स. But chest X-ray is slightly different. इसमें low volume lungs होते हैं, which I'll demonstrate to you. Ground glass opacity, बिल्कुल white out lungs में लग जाते हैं. You must see air in the X-ray in the lungs, but that is not visible in ground glass. Air bronchograms may be visible, and reticulogranular pattern can also be seen. So if we look at it, okay. So this is the X-ray, okay. And in this you can see, अगर हम इसकी aeration को देखेंगे तो this is low, okay. There are some increased opacities in between. ये reticular granular pattern होता है, okay. And this is the air bronchogram that can be seen, okay. So this is low volume lung, reticular granular pattern, and sometimes इसमें जो heart and lung के बीच में border है, that is also not clearly. So again there is a reticular granular pattern. Okay. So surfactant की कमी से क्या होता है? Atelectasis, alveoli collapse, lung compliance जो होती है वो poor हो जाती है. Okay. Alveolar ventilation starts reducing, oxygen tension जो alveoli में है वो कम होने लग जाता है, बच्चा becomes hypoxemic, and इसकी वजह से pulmonary vasoconstriction होता है, जिसकी वजह से blood doesn't go into the lung, जहाँ पे उसका ventilation और perfusion होना चाहिए था उसमें mismatch होने लग जाता है. तो even though कुछ alveoli अपने अच्छे से उसमें air होगी, but because the blood is not going, तो air exchange, gas exchange doesn't happen, and lung ischemia causing decreased lung metabolism and further reduction of surfactant happens. तो इनके मैनेजमेंट में हमारे को क्या करना पड़ता है? As in our baby who was having very preterm baby 780 grams, उस बेबी के लिए हमें supportive care should come first. Again temperature is very very important. अगर low temperature होएगा तो surfactant और कम होएगा. IV fluids, temperature control, oxygen saturations वही हैं इसके 90 to 95% जो हमने asphyxia में डील किए थे, ठीक है. तो most of the normal babies will have this. Respiratory support हमारे को माइल्ड टू मॉडरेट डिजीज के लिए CPAP इज गुड, पर सिवियर डिजीज या एपनिया है तो वेंटिलेशन, ओके. एंड वी शुड ऑलवेज ट्राई एंड गिव नॉन इन्वेजिव जो CPAP होता है, जिसमें कंटिन्यूस डिस्टेंडिंग प्रेशर, जो पीप हमने देखा अपन ने ग्रंटिंग में अपन ने देखा एक वो प्रेशर क्रिएट कर रहे थे, वही हम एक्सटर्नली देने लग जाते हैं टू द एल्वेलाई टू कीप देम ओपन इन स्पॉन्टेनियसली ब्रीदिंग यूनिट. So this also cannot be given to any baby who is apneic or gasping. The other entity which is for surfactant is for RDS is surfactant replacement therapy. तो इसमें exogenous natural surfactants हमारे पास होते हैं which we give through the endotracheal tube, intubate this baby, surfactant दिया and try and rapidly extubate. इसको अगर CPAP के साथ दिया जाए तो इसका add on benefit होता है, synergistic effect होता है. ये कब दिया जाता है? When the baby's oxygen needs are more than 30%. Okay? या बेबी इंट्यूबेटेड है फॉर सिवियर रेस्पिरेटरी डिस्ट्रेस या एपनिया में. इफेक्ट इज इट डिक्रीजेस द ड्यूरेशन लेवल ऑफ रेस्पिरेटरी सपोर्ट. सो वेंटिलेटर से बेबी सीपैप पे आ जाता है, सीपैप से रूम एयर पे आ सकता है, एंड इट ऑल्सो डिक्रीजेस मोर्टेलिटी इन 50%. ओके. प्रिवेंशन ऑफ RDS ऑल्सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट यूज ऑफ एंटीनेटल स्टेरॉइड जो हमारे केस में हमारे बच्चे को नहीं मिल पाया था वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. And it's just not good for RDS, it is also good for IVH, NEC and mortality also उससे कम हो जाता है. This is used for 24 to 34 weeker pregnancy. Then other entity is TTNB which is transient tachypnea. इसमें term या late preterm babies होते हैं. What happens is there is जो fluid है वो delayed clearance होता है. ठीक है. Specifically because of LSCS, prematurity, diabetes and maternal asthma. इसमें इनका फिर फ्लूइड नहीं हुआ, अपना लंग्स में फ्लूइड भरा हुआ है तो इम्पेयर्ड गैस एक्सचेंज होने लग जाएगा, हाइपोक्सी होने लग जाएगा. इसके एक्सरे में व्हाट हैपेंस इज हाई लंग वॉल्यूम बच्चों की जो लंग की है वो अच्छी होगी. वैस्कुलर मार्किंग्स विल बी प्रोमिनेंट. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्लूइड. एंड जो इंटरलोबर फिशर होता है उसमें यू कैन सी अ फ्लूइड, सो ओपेसिटी इज देयर. ट्रीटमेंट इज यूजुअली ऑक्सीजन थेरेपी, लो फ्लो या हाई फ्लो नेजल कैनुला एंड CPAP. एंड प्रोग्नोसिस जनरली इनका बहुत अच्छा रहता है, स्पॉन्टेनियसली रिजॉल्व हो जाता है ये विद इन 72 आवर्स. सो दिस इज द एक्सरे एंड इफ यू कैन सी ओवर हियर अपार्ट फ्रॉम द रिब दिस ओपेसिटी दैट यू कैन सी, दिस इज द इंटरलोबर फिशर. कैन everyone see this? Okay, raise your hands. Can you see that? Yes, good. Okay. So this is the fluid in the fissure. Now the last entity which is meconium aspiration syndrome. So this happens in term and post-term neonates in which what happens is जो aspirated meconium है that blocks the airway, large as well as small. तो again because air is not going to the alveoli तो वहाँ पे collapse हो जाएगा, atelectasis हो जाएगा and sometimes that air is not coming out. तो एक्सहेलेशन में वो एयर नहीं निकल रही है तो एम्फाइसीमा हो जाता है which can cause air leaks and ventilation perfusion mismatch. Also meconium एक chemical entity की तरह से pneumonitis भी करता है because of which even if it is not a blockage pneumonia type का हो जाता है अपना. Respiratory distress is the same, okay, but इसके complications are quite typical which is pneumothorax, PPHN and hypoxia. Okay. So as we discussed airway obstruction and pulmonary inflammation जो pneumonitis हमने बताया, this causes surfactant dysfunction. This causes hypoxemia and acidosis which causes pulmonary hypertension. Okay, जो pulmonary vascular resistance है वो increase हो जाता है. So this is an X-ray of the meconium aspiration syndrome in which you can see multiple opacities across all the lung fields. Okay, and high volume, it's not a low volume. तो इसलिए इसको अपन meconium aspiration syndrome कहते हैं. Sometimes the complications may be like this, which is a pneumothorax. Okay, और very bad lungs जो बहुत ही ज्यादा inflate हो गया है, बहुत high हो गया है अपना, and you can see some alveoli collapse in the form of opacity. So इसमें हमें क्या करना होता है? We have to minimize handling because जितना हैंडल करेंगे उसके ऑक्सीजनेशन और कम होएगा. We have to reduce surrounding noises. Thermal protection is very important. IV fluids and again इसमें भी हमारे same targets रहते हैं. Respiratory support is very crucial. तो इसमें CPAP, mechanical ventilation And specific treatment which you all should remember is inhaled nitric oxide. Sometimes even in this baby surfactant has a role. Surfactant is also given in meconium aspiration syndrome क्योंकि surfactant का dysfunction हो रहा है, but inhaled nitric oxide is the golden जो selective pulmonary vasodilator हो जाता है. तो pulmonary vascular जो resistance अपनी बढ़ी थी उसको कम कर देता है, pulmonary perfusion improves. And this is a very dangerous entity with a mortality of around 20% and long-term chances of asthma. So this is the respiratory support that we have. And these are various forms. HFNC जिसमें सिर्फ एक लिम्ब से बच्चे को हम देते हैं, and these are the nares जिससे air and oxygen blended, heated and humidified होकर के बच्चे के lungs में जाता है, and it comes out through that nose only. Whereas CPAP is in which air and oxygen blender से humidify होकर के inspiratory limb से जाता है, but the baby has to work and displace this much of water to expire. तो ये एक प्रेशर क्रिएट कर रहा है, ये बबल सीपैप कहते हैं हम इसको. बबल चेंबर में जितना ये अपना नीचे है उतना ये प्रेशर जनरेट कर देता है. तो दिस इज द पीप दैट इज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड एंड इसकी वजह से एल्वेलाई ओपन होते हैं. सो सीपैप के इंडिकेशंस आर रेस्पिरेटरी डिस्ट्रेस, एपनिया इन प्रीमेच्योरिटी डिस्पाइट कैफीन. उसको प्रिवेंट करने के लिए अगर बहुत ही लंबा एपनिया आ गया तो इंट्यूबेट ही करना पड़ता है. Following extubation to prevent this baby from any respiratory distress requiring mechanical ventilation. Airway instability होती है जैसे laryngomalacia, tracheomalacia, bronchomalacia, उसमें airway को distend करने के लिए. Contraindications होते हैं अगर बहुत ही cardiovascular instability में है, poor respiratory drive है, बच्चा breathe ही बहुत कम कर रहा है, respiratory failure which is defined by increased CO2 more than 60 and hypoxemia या congenital malformations और diaphragmatic hernia. इनमें हमें नहीं देना होता है. And generally we start with around 5 to 6. FiO2 को हम titrate करते हैं again to maintain the same saturations 90 to 95 and we increase it in steps of 1 to 2 बच्चे के work of breathing को देखते हुए to maximum of around 8. FiO2 को भी हम titrate करते हैं by the saturation increase in 5% till 80%. अगर 8 पे और 80% पे भी बेबी का रेस्पिरेटरी डिस्ट्रेस सेटल नहीं हो रहा है, बेबीज ब्लड गैसेस आर शोइंग हाइपोक्सीमिया एंड हाइपरकार्बिया, देन दिस बेबी नीड्स वेंटिलेशन. ओके, एंड दिस एंटिटी इज आल्सो नॉट कंप्लीटली सेफ. इट कॉजेज नेजल इंजरी बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेशर, पल्मरी एयर लीक्स, कार्डियक आउटपुट कम हो जाता है इसका, एंड पल्मरी वैस्कुलर रेजिस्टेंस कैन बी इंक्रीज एंड समटाइम्स ओनली अ एब्डोमिनल डिस्टेंशन which is called as CPAP belly happens. Okay, so last again the same questions. What is the role of surfactant in the lungs? B. Very good. So it decreases the surface tension in the alveoli. In severe cases, what type of lung damage may happen? Both A and B. Very good. So pneumothorax and pulmonary hypertension. Okay. So I think most of you have got this. Okay. I'll just call for the roll call at the end of it. Any questions?